terrific grace, ladies and gentlemen, is spoken and slaves now. All the humanity and all the...
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
Which specifies the unconditional surrender of Japan.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
Challenger, go with throttle up. Challenger, go with throttle up.
We have suffered great loss, and in our grief and anger, we have found our mission and our moment. We will not tire, we will not falter, and we will not fail.
In 1922, the first Jewish Community Center in Denver was formed in Rudy Park. And while I wasn't there to see it, or to see its opening, that was the very beginning for the JCC in Denver.
And they're celebrating 80 years this year for the JCC. And I'm sorry to say, or I'm happy to say, I'm also celebrating 80 years this year.
Also as a member of the Goulman Community Center.
This became a place where all the new immigrants went. The kids went after school every day to play basketball. So many prominent members of our Jewish community today played basketball after school at either the Goulman or the Rudy centers.
From the west side to the swimming pool at the Rudy building, I have nothing but fond memories, and it's been a very important part of my life and a very important part of my whole family's life.
Some anonymous donor bought me a membership. I don't really, till this day, who knew who it was. I've been a member here ever since.
And many of us growing up spent our days after elementary and middle school going to the JCC. I was a gym rat in those days and loved playing basketball. But for the JCC, we really didn't have a place to play.
Fyvie and I have been members of the center for, we figured out, probably 55 years, and here we're only 39.
Been coming here for 17 years. I'm 17 years old.
I have been a member of the Jewish Community Center for over 40 years.
There are lots and lots of very good memories, and it's like my home away from home.
After a few years, as the Jewish population began to sift over to the east side more and more, an east branch was developed on Colfax at Williams in the old B'nai B'rith building. And while it doesn't exist anymore, there are an awful lot of people in our community who have wonderful and warm memories of that building and the swimming pool in it and the various meetings and programs and so forth that they attended there. As the years went by, the population on the east side of Denver grew more and more. There was more and more demand for service and programming. And so the leaders of the Jewish Community Center at that time in the late 50s began to develop a plan to acquire land and build a brand new center from scratch that would meet the needs of the people going into the 60s. And so Sarah Lee Pollock and Gene Weisberg and other community leaders were instrumental in raising the money to make it possible for a JCC to be built at our current site today at Alameda and South Dahlia.
Once it opened, seeing how untypical it was of most health clubs, where teenagers were side by side on bicycles with 80-year-olds talking and exercising together.
And so today we have the Robert E. Loop Community Center, of which we are proud, and we hope our community is proud.
A friend of mine by the name of David Back comes to me and says, "Hey, you guys, you need to come and check out this new thing I've been trying on." We say, what is that? And he says, "It's the schwitz." I'm like, the schwitz? That's crazy. What is a schwitz? And he says, "Oh, it's this hot room where a bunch of naked old guys get together and hit each other with seaweed."
Probably my favorite memories of the JCC are from my college and high school years. It used to be that you had to be a special member to get into the men's health club. And just family members couldn't do it, and we were kids, so we weren't allowed in. So we used to sneak in. We called it guerrilla schwitz. We'd sneak into the health club and hang out with all the old guys that were my grandfather's generation. Some of them, the young guys were my dad's age, and we'd just go into this big steam room, into the schwitz, and hang around with these guys. And they'd say, "So who's your grandfather?" And I'd say, "Israel Stein." And they'd say, "Oh, he owns the Pencold drug." And it was really ironic to me and my friends because we would do anything to get out of spending time with our families, but here we were sneaking into an opportunity just to socialize with old guys just like our parents and grandparents. And of course, occasionally we get caught and get thrown out, and that was part of the fun too.
I love the schwitz. I like the kibbutz. I like the camaraderie.
Favorite memory is mountain biking because we go on so many cool trails and the councils are really nice. And this really isn't a memory, but it's in general. At the very start of camp, when you're riding like through the gates, it's a really good feeling because I've been going 3 years and you know you're going to have a good time.
I love the fact that the center for years has given money out to kids who couldn't afford to go to camp and couldn't afford to come here, couldn't afford to be in the preschool. And that was very rewarding for me. And I think those were my most memorable kinds of memories. They were just fabulous.
Way back in 1996, it seems like a long time ago now, I took a job teaching at the JCC preschool, and it's still the best job I've ever had. It was a fantastic environment. It was late in the year, actually it was probably spring of '97. I was in the corner of the playground underneath a parachute that we'd use to play with the kids, and a friend of mine came over to the playground and said, "I'd like you to meet someone." And I look up and I see this very pretty young woman who had just started at the JCC named Karen. And I thought, wow, she's really nice and very attractive. And I said to myself at that point, I'd like to get to know this girl a little bit better. So in the lobby of the JCC, where the coffee cart is right now, there used to be another coffee cart. It was more mobile and it was closer in. And so from the coffee cart, you could see right into Karen's office. It was in the Camp Shy office. I must have had 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day from the coffee cart because I'd go up there and under the guise of buying coffee, I'd peek into the office and she'd look up and I'd turn away. It was sort of 6 weeks of that. And then finally we started going out, and 5 years later we've been married, and it's the best and the most amazing memory I have at the JCC.
Well, my kids grew up at the JCC preschool. In fact, I think, Maura, you started in 1985.
Preschool here with Nessie and all those wonderful friends that I made.
I made so many friends I still have today. And Maura, then you were in all the plays at the Schwader Theater.
I swam in the pool.
Came to the book fair every single year.
And today I really like going to the new health club.
But really the fun thing was, remember Shabbat Sing?
Oh, on Fridays, yeah.
Nancy Livingston always let Shabbat sing. The whole school would come down and sing songs every Friday afternoon. And we're still singing some of them.
Do you remember my favorite one?
The one from Passover?
Yeah.
We sing this song every Seder. We're not going to do the whole thing for you. We'll spare you. But
we'll just do the chorus.
We'll do the chorus. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, now.
Pharaoh, Pharaoh, whoa, baby, let my people go. Yeah. She won't do that part.
Thanks, JCC. Thanks, Nancy Livingston.
Thanks, and happy birthday.
And we're looking forward to years and years and years of vitality and viability and reaching out and providing for the community what was provided for us as we grew up.
We'll be entering into a whole new era, really, as we continue the proud and strong beginning that was made in 1922 in Rudy Park.